This is for the tutorial, Create a Party Monkey. What we will be learning how to do today is zooming in, rotating, adding an object, moving an object, deleting an object, and rendering. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we do, let's talk about the different sections. Alright, right here we're going to use this to add objects. This right here is the camera and the startup screen. This is the default cube. This little arrow looking thing, that is the 3D cursor that places items into the scene. Right here, this is going to be the lamp. Now, you need to know all of this while we are going over this tutorial. Alright, so let's go ahead and start. So when you start Blender, this is the default scene. You will always get a cube, you'll always get the lamp, and you will always get the camera. So first things first, let's zoom in. To zoom in, what you're going to do is use the middle mouse wheel, and you're just going to scroll the middle mouse wheel, and you can zoom in and out that way. Another way of doing the exact same thing is using this plus symbol right here. If I just hold my mouse over it, this is really good if you just have a touch pad at home, say on a laptop. Alright, another thing you can do is to rotate the scene. To do that, we're still going to be using the middle mouse wheel, but this time we're going to hold it down and we are going to rotate. So that allows us to rotate throughout the scene. I can also use this gizmo up here, if you see what's on my mouse. Another thing we can do is called panning, and that is moving right to left or back, top to bottom, excuse me. So we're going to use the middle mouse wheel again for this. So hold down shift and keep holding it down, and then hold down the middle mouse wheel, and you can go up and down, side to side. Again, this technique is called panning. If you cannot remember the shortcuts on how to do this, you can go right up here to the hands, and that allows you to pan as well. So as I said, we have the default cube right here. So this is our workspace, and let's say that you have modeled quite a bit and you want to take a picture of it in order to post it on social media. What you would do would be to take a render. Now, you're going to notice in Blender there are multiple ways of doing the exact same thing in Blender. So when it comes to rendering, you can do it, again, two ways. One way is go here along the top of the screen. You're going to see render and then render image. And you can see it just brings up the look of our cube right here. Let me go ahead and close that out. Another way is just hitting F12 on the keyboard, and it does the same thing. Now, if you're going to save this scene, what you would do is you would go to image right here and save as, and this will give you the PNG image, so you can then go and post it on an email, social media, anywhere that you actually want to. Alright, now let's go over some basics. Now, in this first tutorial, it is just about practicing how to move in Blender. Not only how to move in the scene, but how to move items. So let's go ahead and select our cube right here. Now, to move the cube, this is also called translate. What you're going to do, you're going to go to the toolbar here on the left side of the screen, and I'm going to click on this little arrow section right here. This is for moving. Now, what you have are three arrows on your cube. This stands for the 3D space. We have X, which is the red arrow right here, and that is for right and left. We have Y, that is the green arrow, and that is for depth. So that is forward and backward. and we have blue. That is going to be for the z-axis, and that is going to be up and down. Let's say that you are being kind of confused about this. One thing that you can do is look up here in the upper right hand corner, and that is going to give you the X, Y, and Z axis and show you which is which. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of the cube right now because we're going to be adding a monkey. So in order to get rid of the cube, there are two ways of doing it. The keyboard shortcut is going to be X, like in X-ray, or you can right click on your cube and then press delete. Okay, so our workspace is now clear. So let's go ahead and add a primitive. A primitive is just the basic shapes that we are going to be working with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add mesh, and then let's go ahead and add the monkey. So here is my monkey head. You can see that she's just hanging around here on the middle board of the grid. She gets placed there because of this 3D cursor right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a cone. So I'm going to go to add, mesh, and then cone. The keyboard shortcut to do this is going to be Shift A. So here is Suzanne. Here is the cone. So she has a party hat now. So if I were to take a render, let's see, this is what it would look like. You can sort of see in the top of her, on her face, it's kind of in the shadow. So what we need to make sure is that we can really see Suzanne's face right here. So let me exit that. So in order to see Suzanne's face, I'm going to move the light to in front of her. And this may take a little bit of practice when it comes to moving in 3D space. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, and you're also going to notice that it's kind of off to the side. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to move this camera so that it's a little bit closer. Now, another way of moving is going to be holding down G, as in giraffe. I also want to rotate it a little bit, so you can see how my camera is pointing over in that direction. So in order to rotate it, I'm going to choose the icon below. That is going to be the rotate. And I am just going to rotate it so that it's kind of sticking in the right direction. Ooh, that's not looking good. So I'm just using the red line to sort of just tilt it up. Let's see. I'm just going to press G for grab. Let's see how that looks. Oh, sort of off to the side. So let's go ahead and just move it a little bit more. That's still off to the side. So let's try meeting it halfway and we'll bring it back a little bit. There's a slightly easier way to do this, and we're going to go over that. Alright, so let's try to line it up with the y-axis and see if okay, that's pretty good, but because I am persnickety, I'm going to build it up a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Image and save as Image. And I'm going to name this Party Monkey Render. That saved the render. Now I'm also going to save my file. So I'm going to go to File and Save As. This is going to be the blend file. And I'm just going to go ahead and just save this as Party Monkey as well. And there we go. That is the whole tutorial for 1.1.